All of the true pelvis, also we did this. Muscles, which means talk about the levator ani and the piriformis and the coccygeus and all of this. Fascia, which we did it. Structures of the pelvic floor, which means dissected, like we did in the perineum. First we have skin, then we have superficial fascia, then we have the deep fascia, which we called it Coulis fascia. Then you have the muscles of perineum, which is levator ani muscle, coccygeus, and all of these muscles. And talk about the divisions, how we have urogenital triangle and the anal triangle, how urogenital triangle subdivided to form two fossa, superficial and deep perineal pouch. So talk about you are like coming from down upwards.
Would
Okay.
pouches be part of the layers?
Pouches, now when you reach to the uppermost part, which is peritoneum, now say that the peritoneum it makes two pouches in females and just one pouch in males. But now you mean that you skip even all of the organs till you reach the peritoneum. Okay, so you are so much above now. But when you start from down upwards, you just start by skin, superficial fascia, deep fascia, the pelvic organs, the deep perineal pouch, and superficial. So till now you are still even under the levator ani muscle. Okay? Then rectum and anal canal. And again, it's repeated in 23. So we have 16 and 23, they are copy-paste. Did you notice? Rectum and anal canal. But what's the difference? One in pink and one in green. One for demonstration, to show him everything. One theoretical, to see the blood supply and everything. So rectum and anal canal, how to start them? Rectum, it was the termination of the sigmoid colon at the level of S3. It will be now rectum. And it ends by giving anal canal. Rectum, it will be something like it has curvatures. It has lateral curvatures and anteroposterior curvatures. And from inside it has valves, which we call them Houston's valves. The Houston's valves of the rectum itself. This one is rectum. So it has anteroposterior curvatures and lateral curvatures, and from inside it has valves of the mucosa itself. We called it Houston's valves. What would be the blood supply of the rectum? Superior, middle, inferior rectal arteries. Superior from where? Inferior mesenteric. But middle and inferior from where? Internal iliac. How? Middle directly from internal iliac. Inferior rectal, it was branched from internal pudendal, which is from internal iliac. Now we understand even the details. So superior rectal, it was a continuation of inferior mesenteric. Middle rectal, directly from internal iliac. Inferior rectal from internal pudendal from internal iliac. It's okay? What about the venous drainage? Same. Superior rectal vein, middle rectal vein, inferior rectal vein. Superior rectal, it goes to inferior mesenteric. Middle rectal goes to internal iliac. Inferior rectal, internal pudendal, which goes to internal iliac. Same. Everything the same. The plexus, yes. Now they are coming from plexus inside. We call them superficial and deep rectal plexus. So the superficial rectal venous plexus forming the inferior rectal vein. But the deep rectal venous plexus forming the superior rectal vein. So inside the rectum itself and the anal canal, we have group of veins. We call them rectal veins. Okay, so this is the rectum. Anal canal, describe it, how it was different. Because the upper 2/3 of the anal canal, it's not same like the lower 1/3 of the anal canal. Why? Upper 2/3, it will be pure mucosal. But the lower 1/3, skin. Why? Because of embryo, because this was endoderm and this ectoderm after rupturing of cloacal membrane. Rupturing of anal membrane or cloacal membrane, now we have the upper 2/3 that will be endoderm, the lower 1/3 that will be ectoderm. We always say your landmark it will be the pectinate line. So above the pectinate and down to the pectinate. So that's why the blood supply is different. We always say above the pectinate by superior rectal, down by middle and inferior. Or actually above by superior and middle, down only by inferior. Same for venous drainage. Above by superior and middle, down by inferior. Even the nerve supply is different. Why? Upper 2/3, we said it will be mucosal. So they need autonomic innervation, sympathetic and parasympathetic. But lower 1/3, skin, so it needs somatic innervation. Somatic innervation by S4, by something not for autonomic, not sympathetic, not something unconsciously. Now it will be conscious. It's skin, so you have to feel it. Really, is it clear? So this is the difference between the upper 2/3 and the lower 1/3 of the anal canal. Then that's why actually it's repeated into topics. So please take care about this topic. And also they ask here about histo. Also this is one of the questions which they like to ask you in histo. Ligaments and supporting structures of the uterus, uterine tube and the ovary, broad ligaments of the uterus. And yes, everything related to the uterus. And also 19, it's also parts, anatomical position, topography and blood supply of the uterus and uterine cavity. And 20, parts and blood supply and peritoneal relations of the uterine cervix and vagina. So we have 3 topics about the uterus and the uterine tube and the ovary. How to talk about it? Uterus, it has fundus, body, and cervix. The fundus, it has a cavity inside, which we called it uterine cavity. But the cervix, it has canal, which we called it cervical canal, which has internal os and external os, like this. So this will be the fundus, body, and cervix, and this is a cervical canal, which has internal os and external os, but this uterine cavity. Okay, then after the cervix, you have the vagina, which is vaginal muscular wall, comes from the cervix up to the vaginal orifice itself. And from the side wall of the uterus, we have this, which is fallopian tube or uterine tube. It has 4 parts, which are intramural part, while it's still running in the uterus, isthmus, which is very, very narrow, then ampulla, and the end it will be infundibulum. From infundibulum, we have the finger-like structures, which we called it fimbria, for attaching with the ovary itself. Okay, from the uterus, we have which ligaments? We have ovarian ligament, and we have all of this, which we called it broad ligament, excellent, and also we have the round ligament of the uterus. It will be coming from anteriorly, like for example, try to find it. Yes, okay. So look at here, this is the uterus. So here it will be the fallopian tube, which going posteriorly to attach with the ovary. So this pink here, and this which will be here, not colored. So this and this will be ovarian ligament. Comes from the side wall of the uterus to the ovary. But here from anteriorly, we have another ligament, we called it round ligament of the uterus, which goes to the labia majora by going through the inguinal canal. This is actually which we always say in the abdomen. What are the contents of inguinal canal in females? Round ligament of the uterus, because it comes from the anterior wall of the uterus like this, and it goes through the inguinal canal till it reaches the labia majora. Okay, it's not clear in this diagram. Here, for example, this round ligament of the uterus. Can we see it comes from anterior up to the inguinal canal to reach the labia majora. Okay? What else? You have to see the position of the uterus. It's all the time anteverted, anteflexed. What's the meaning of this? Anteverted, which means the long axis of the uterus itself. With the long axis of the vagina, it will be 90 degrees. So it's completely perpendicular. So the long axis of the uterus, together with long axis of vagina, it makes 90 degrees. This we called it anteverted. But anteflexed, which means the long axis of the body with the long axis of the cervix itself, it will be 170 degrees. So it's not straight 180, no, it's 170 degrees. That's why we called it slightly flexed, anti-flexed. Okay, anti by E, A-N-T-E, not I, which means anterior, not against. By I, it means against, but now it's anti by E, which means anterior. Okay, so it will be anteverted, anti-flexed. This is the normal position of the uterus. Okay, and what else also related to the uterus? Blood supply. It will be by what? Of course, uterine artery, which we said now it's branched from internal iliac artery. What will be the venous drainage? Uterine vein. We have actually what's called plexus of veins, uterine plexus of veins, which goes to where? Internal iliac vein. What will be the lymphatic drainage? It depends. Why? In the upper half of the uterus, let me show you now. Upper half of the uterus, together with ovary, together with fallopian tube, they are going to para-aortic lymph nodes. And what about the lower half of the uterus? It goes to external and internal iliac lymph nodes. And what about the cervix? It goes to external, internal, and sacral lymph nodes. So again, upper half, together with fallopian tube, together with ovary, they are going to para-aortic lymph nodes. But here, lower half, external and internal iliac lymph nodes. Cervix itself, it can go to anywhere, internal, external, sacral. And finally, all of them, they are going to cisterna chyli, from cisterna chyli to thoracic duct. And nerve supply, it depends, sympathetic or parasympathetic. Sympathetic from T12 to L1, parasympathetic from S2, 3, 4. So this will be the uterus by everything, by the ligaments, by everything. Broad ligament. Broad ligament also will be subdivided to 3 parts. What they are? Mesosalpinx, mesovarium, mesometrium. Excellent. So this will be the mesometrium, the main part, and this mesovarium, which is the area related only to the ovary, we call it mesovarium, and this mesosalpinx, the area which is related to the fallopian tube. Inside the mesovarium and the mesosalpinx, we found embryological remnants. We call them apophron and parophron. They were the remnants of mesonephric tubules. They are forming here remnants. We call it apophron and parophron. But inside also the broad ligament, what you have the uterus, the ureter. You have the ureter and the uterine artery and ovarian ligament and round ligament of the uterus. All of them, they were running within the 2 layers of the broad ligament itself. Okay, we found the uterine artery. Cardinal ligaments will be now on each side of cervix itself. So if this broad ligament, this here, it will be, for example, like this, and here. It will be cardinal ligaments coming from each side of the cervix itself. So if this uterus, we have broad ligament. Then uterus will be cervix, so we have cardinal ligaments. Okay? For fixing the uterus and the cervix.
Can you just repeat the structures that are inside the...
Inside, yes, we have two tubes, which are ureter and what else? Tube inside, fallopian tube, uterus, ureter and fallopian tube. Then we have two arteries, uterine artery and ovarian artery. Then we have two embryological remnants, epiphron and parophron. Then we have two ligaments, ovarian ligament and round ligament of the uterus. So all of these structures running in between the two layers of broad ligament. Two organs or two tubes, which are ureter and fallopian tube, two ligaments, ovarian ligament and round ligament of the uterus, two vessels, uterine artery and ovarian artery, and we said two embryological remnants, epiphron and parophron.
We don't count the broad ligament.
These are all inside the broad ligament itself. They are already inside the two layers of broad ligament. Okay? Okay. Then what we have?